Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The feature race at Los Alamitos. We have two grade ones, but really the feature. Because folks like the 2-year-olds, perhaps with their eyes on the first Saturday in May, the feature and our DRF.com formulated race of the day is the grade 1 Los Alamitos CashCall Futurity. $300,000 is the purse. Let's take a look at this field. It's not a large field, but it features a horse that's getting a whole lot of hype, and that is the undefeated Mastery.
He's done nothing wrong in 2 lifetime starts. He's successfully stretched out to a little bit of a longer distance most recently, but you know, it's one of those things. We always talk about it. You don't want to bet a favorite doing something they've never done. Well, this will be the first time Mastery's going to go 2 turns, and there is just a little something that bothers me in a pretty big way about this horse.
Let's talk about it. He made his career debut in October sprinting. He wore blinkers that day. He won easy with a big fig. He shows up in the Bob Hope Stakes. He's not wearing blinkers. He wins fairly easily. Now he's going 2 turns. The blinkers are back on.
I don't really know, and I understand maybe he's a little bit green and Baffert just wants to get him a little bit sharper. Baffert normally, after maiden scores, going into a graded stakes race, second out, taking the blinkers off, he does it only with good horses. He doesn't go back and put the blinkers back on. The only 3 times, past 5 years, winner last out, blinkers switched to on, and again, it's a tiny sample size. 0 for 3, 1 of them has hit the board, losses at 6-5, 4-5, and 8-5. Not suggest. Look, he's far and away the most likely winner of this race. I wouldn't argue with anyone. I think you have to use him in the pick 4. You can't just throw him out. But at what is likely to be, let's be honest, he's going to be 1-5 probably.
He'll be 1-5.
And he's looked fantastic in both of his starts. I don't want to find out that there's something a little bit kooky with this horse, and that's why the blinkers go back on.
You're always trying to poke a hole in a favorite, even if it's something that might not be with the conventional handicapping wisdom. And if this bothers you, you're supposed to take a shot against Mastery. Mastery's never been headed from 2 starts. And even though he's stretching out with good speed, so is Bobby Abu Dhabi, the number 2. And I think the most likely scenario from a pace standpoint, Bobby Abu Dhabi's going to go to the front. And I think this is the time, blinkers on or no, that Mike Smith's going to try to sit off with Mastery in second and try to attack. Maybe Mastery won't like that.
And then there's so many things, and maybe the fact that this horse has worked at Los Al in the past sort of alleviates the concern. But keep in mind, Los Alamitos is not always the easiest surface for certain horses to get over. I just look at it and say, again, don't get me wrong, he's way the horse to beat. At 1-5 from an individual race standpoint, with a little thing for me, again, the blinkers going back on, I don't love that. I'm going to try and beat him because, like you said too, I don't know that he can rate.
We've pointed out the possible flaws, but let's be honest. This horse has hinted at serious ability in his 2 races. Now, okay, he's won on the lead over speed-friendly tracks both times, but the way he's finished, including last time out in the Bob Hope, where there was an okay Calbred chasing him, a California Diamond, and Smith never really asked Mastery for his full run in the stretch. The way he finished up that race hinted that he is a true horse with stakes potential. I'm not concerned about the distance. The others are going to have him nailed on tight to beat this horse, in my opinion. But let's talk about some of the others, because they're interesting and promising horses in their own right, including fellow Keeneland graduate Bobby Abu Dhabi, who was very game in his debut. He was bet down at 2-1 in a 9-horse field, so he took a lot of money. The son of Macho Uno, he sold for a lot of money earlier this year. It looks like he's got some heart. He's bred to stretch out, and maybe he'll be the one showing the way going into the first turn.
I think that's his best chance at winning this race, going right to the top and trying to wire this field again. You know, we always talk about it. You assume with these big fields with 14, you know, if it's the Derby with 20, that's when you're going to have all your traffic and trouble. Sometimes these smaller fields, they end up sort of finding a way for their trouble to kind of come from out of nothing. The one way you can avoid it is going right to the front. This horse should be on the lead. There is a number that it's hard for me to get past. Peter Miller, past 5 years, 2-year-old graded stakes, 0 for 39. It's just a number that I don't want to try to beat.
That's a shocking number for a guy with so many talented horses as Miller, a guy that usually wins at a high rate in his own right. Dangerfield and IRAP, both trained by Doug O'Neill. We'll begin with IRAP. He's a $300,000 son of Tiz now. He's got a nice little pedigree, but he's raced twice on turf. They're trying the dirt here with this horse. He's going to be a big price.
He's a half to Speightstown. I mean, obviously there's pedigree here, but you said it yesterday when I brought it up. Why is he on the turf to begin with? I feel like he's just here taking a shot. If he hits the board, great.
Dangerfield has really improved since being stretched out around 2 turns. A stakes win at Pleasanton, was not embarrassed in the Delta Jackpot last time out. I thought he made a big wide run in that race. He has now paired up Buyer Tops. I know that's an angle you like. I wouldn't be surprised with a big move forward. And if Mastery and Bobby Abu Dhabi maybe hook up in a hot and heavy pace battle, maybe Dangerfield's the one to directly benefit from the back of the pack.
I picked him third. I like him. I think he's doing some good things. I think he's slowly but surely getting better. It seems like the minute they stretched him out, he just turned into a different different animal. He's getting better. The Delta race, he was late to change leads. I'm not going to hold that against him, though. He made that big move rounding the far turn, and it's just an odd configuration. Get him back to a more conventional sort of normal track. I think he's okay.
Mastery, the horse to beat. You're going with the other Baffert. And how many times have we seen it? The other Baffert at a big price. Show Me Duluth has got a beautiful pedigree. Made the debut going 2 turns. It's not that easy. Didn't take a lot of money for a Baffert-trained first-time starter, but he just kept going and going and going. And distance is going to be his friend. To me, I was worried about the quality of the field he beat and the fact that, as we were talking on DRF Live as that race was going on and that day was going on, that was when Santa Anita just had to be on the lead.
Yeah, you had to be forward, and I thought Victor recognized that and said, we're going right to the front. Visually, there really wasn't a heck of a lot to love about it. I mean, he was under the bat out of the gate, and he was just not the visually most spectacular performance, but at the same time, there's something to be said about digging in gamely like he did down on the inside. You brought up the pedigree. You know, obviously the dam is tremendous, but this one's a foal to a horse called Tis Midnight. She won the Bayakoa when they ran it here at Los Al a couple of years ago. And we've talked about it. I'm not suggesting, obviously, you don't know until they go and do it. But 2 turns isn't a problem for him. He's not fast enough to make the lead. He's going to have to sit off of probably his stablemate and the horse from Peter Miller that's probably going to break out to the front. But the fact that this horse has at least some breeding that would suggest this track shouldn't be much of a problem for him. You look, he had been working here in the past. I'll take a shot with him. It's also worth noting, past 5 years, dirt route, second-time starter, maiden winner in their first start, now in a graded stakes race, 4 for 8, over a $2 ROI for Baffert. I'll take a small shot with him over the other Baffert.
You'll get your price, and he's the only horse in the race with a win at the exact mile and a 16th. Dangerfield has won at a mile and 70 yards. You're going 4-3. You're not fooling around with any tries or anything like that. It's basically going to be Show Me Duluth Mastery.
I went 4-3, and if I just had to throw anyone else in, I'd throw Dangerfield in. I think he's slowly but surely improving.
I'm watching this race with a lot of interest. I think Mastery gets through it. We'll see how he is able to handle the stretch out, how he's able to handle the blinkers on, and maybe some other speed thrown at him from Bobby Abu Dhabi. 3-2-4 for me in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Cash Call Futurity. And if you're playing the Los Alamitos Saturday card from home, here is the drill. $100 worth of free bets, $100 sign-up bonus, $25 bonus just when you show up. drfbets.com/freebet is the way to go this winter. Approximate post time for the Cash Call Futurity, 2:58 Pacific. Best of luck.